I started when I was 14 in a McDonald's store and worked my way into McCafe, and I love the taste of coffee, so I really started to enjoy making coffee. I also went and worked at a couple of independent cafes just to develop my passion and my skills. I did that while I was studying and then decided that I'd rather work with coffee because I couldn't get enough of it from when I started in McCafe to now. It's been about 8 years. The first McCafe opened in Melbourne in 1993, and since then we've grown to over 700 McCafes within Australia alone, and it's also a global brand, so it's spread throughout the world. We serve over 45 million cups of coffee every year within Australia alone, and we also train over 4,000 baristas. There's obviously a lot of baristas that work in all the stores across the country, and it's a big job to try and train them all. So we get out to the stores as often as we can to do the training sessions and work with those baristas, and we have a key person responsible within each store for the training of the other crew, and it's that person's responsibility to make sure that all the staff are doing the right thing, but also passionate about what they're doing and enjoying what they're doing, because if a barista isn't passionate and excited about making a coffee, they're probably not going to make a great coffee. The coffee is all roasted in Australia, so we make sure that it gets out to the store as quickly as possible after it's roasted so that they're using fresh coffee. If the staff understand what a fresh coffee is and how freshness affects the flavour of a coffee that you're going to drink, then they're more inclined to work on keeping the beans fresh and making sure that it tastes as good as possible every time a customer comes in. So once I'm sure that the coffee machine is clean and I've got fresh beans in my nice clean hopper, that's when I'll start to teach people how to actually make a coffee and go through that process. I'm going to sit the handle in the cradle, push it right to the back. Now, really important that all the coffee goes into the basket. Bringing the tamp down, it'll come down till it clicks. Once it's clicked, it's put the right amount of pressure on the coffee. Before I put the handle into the head, I'm going to run some water through, and that just does two things. It brings the head up to the right temperature and also makes sure it's nice and clean. Press the button and select your glasses. So we're making 2 lattes because of the way it's presented in a glass, and with the crema on the surface, you can really see everything that's gone into it from the barista. It'll start out looking like chocolate dripping off of a spoon, then it'll turn into more of a caramel as it lightens up, and then once it gets brighter in colour and starts to look a little more watery, that's when it'll cut off, and that means all the oils have been taken from the coffee and you're not going to take anything more. Next thing we're going to get started on is the milk. So purging our steam arm just allows us to clear out any old milk or water that might be in there. When you position your steam arm, you want to put it in the jug in a way that's going to get the milk spinning as quickly as possible within the jug. So lower your jug down gently. We're just going to heat it up to 60 degrees. What you don't want is any big bubbles. So nice and silky smooth when we roll it around inside the jug. So when you're pouring, you want to make the crema the hero, and you want to keep that sitting on the surface because that's where a lot of your flavour comes from. So it's about pouring gently and taking care to keep that on top. And that's how you make a latte.